monumental farce, isn't it? Looking for non-existent jobs. And all it does is humiliate me. You've done nothing to be ashamed of. You're alone with 2 kids. You've done amazing.
I've seen it before. Good people on the street. You could lose everything.
Well, I'm not going to give up. When you lose your self-respect, you're done for.
Welcome to Kermode Uncut. There's a new Ken Loach film out today called I, Daniel Blake. If you're a regular here at the blog, you know that I interviewed Ken about it at the Latitude Festival a few months ago when I first saw the film. I've just seen it again this week because it's just opening today. And I absolutely love it. It's a Palme d'Or winner. It's a terrific movie. In fact, I think it may be my favourite Ken Loach movie to date. However, I decided now was a good time to give you my Ken Loach top 5 films, not including I, Daniel Blake, because most of you won't have seen that yet, but up until Daniel Blake, top 5 Ken Loach films.
Shut up! I've got mind to do you all. Come on, hurry up, move it!
At number 5, a Palme d'Or winner, not I, Daniel Blake, but Ken Loach's first Palme d'Or winner, The Wind That Shakes the Barley, a terrific movie, a tale of brother against brother rebellion set in the background of 1920s Ireland. It's wonderfully shot by Barry Ackroyd. It's kind of the flip side to Neil Jordan's more mainstream Michael Collins, and it features a dynamite central performance by Cillian Murphy.
We didn't fight for this, Damien.
Look, it's too late, Teddy. You're not going to convince me.
You've always been a dreamer,
I am
Damien.
not a dreamer. I am a realist, Teddy. Come on. Let's get it down there. Go on. Get hold of it. Smash it. Go on.
How many times have you been in that position with a sheep?
Never mind. Come on, this is.
At number 4, from 1993, a Ken Loach film which occasionally gets overlooked, Raining Stones, which is a really powerful story about a man who wants to buy his daughter a communion dress and gets into trouble with debt collectors. It has a fantastic performance by Julie Brown, who I had the great pleasure of meeting when I was the musical director for Danny Baker's television show In a Former Life.
I reckon we should go out one night and get ourselves a couple of sugar daddies.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Is that really you? Say something in French then.
Et je suis Eric Cantona.
At number 3, a favourite for me and I think for many people, and perhaps Ken Loach's most upbeat and jovial movie, Looking for Eric. A wonderful performance by Steve Evans as a man who is obsessed with the figure of Eric Cantona, who appears in the movie as himself. Sometimes we forget that you're just a man, says Steve Evans, to which Cantona replies, I am not a man, I am Cantona.
No! 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 From your balls. No!
Come on, kid.
Which brings me to the top 2, and this was a very tough call. For me, at number 2 is a film which I think many people would think of as their favourite Ken Loach film, Kes. I remember seeing Kes when I was really young. I was dropped off at the cinema by my mum. I had no idea what I was going to watch, but she was dropping us off there, me and my brother, because she wanted to go and do the shopping. We sat, we watched Kes. We were completely traumatised by it. I don't think I've ever been so upset by the end of a movie. Since then, I've seen it time and time again. Obviously, I ended up at school reading the book by Barry Hines. Such a wonderful and yet bleak and harsh, but strangely uplifting story. It's one of those films that stays with you. No matter how many times I watch it, I'm always astonished by how powerful it is. And if you watch films like The Selfish Giant or more recently Chicken and see just how strongly Kes continues to influence modern day filmmakers. It's one of those films that continues to resonate, and it's almost my favourite Ken Loach film, but not quite.
I walked back up into middle field and called her again, and she came just as good as first time, straight onto the glove and grabbing for mate. Well, that was it, sir. I trained her, sir, and that's all I could do.
There's fighting in the streets, barricades going up all over the place, there's shootings, comrades against comrades. Fascists must be laughing their heads off. Anyway, I've just got orders to join a squad of government supporters. Seems we're being sent to defend Communist Party HQ. No choice. I'm not looking forward to it.
Which brings me to the number one spot, my favourite Ken Loach film, not counting, as I said before, I, Daniel Blake, and it's from the mid-90s. It's Land and Freedom. When I first saw Land and Freedom, I was a huge fan of Ian Hart, who starred in Backbeats, terrific actor. And I interviewed him for Radio 1. He was so passionate about the project and loved working with Ken Loach. And what I really liked about Land and Freedom, which is set around the time of the Spanish Civil War, is that on the one hand, it's a historical drama and has real sweep and real scope. But on the other hand, it's also personal. It is a film which doesn't feel afraid to stop and let people have a long political discussion, but remembers that all the time you have to engage the audience in a personal way. So much so that Land and Freedom features one of the most shocking scenes I've ever seen in a film, something which, when it happened, the entire audience gasped. In fact, Ken Loach told me that when they filmed that particular scene, most of the people doing it didn't know it was going to happen. I'm not going to tell you what it is in case you haven't seen it, I don't want to blow it.
What's going on?
It's a film which blends politics with the personal subject matter in a way which is completely perfect and absolutely represents what it is that Ken Loach wants to do, to tell stories which are historically important, which have contemporary relevance, which have real sort of political underpinning, but are also dramas that work on a personal level. So there we are, that's my top 5 Ken Loach movies, not including I, Daniel Blake. What are yours? What have I left out? Which are the gems that you really like? Perhaps you're one of the people who loves Hidden Agenda. Let me know.